Hello, hope everybody's doing well today. I'm going to make a quick video about the devaluation stage with a narcissist. Um, you're going to know when you're being devaluated. Uh, in my case, it was a little different. Of course, we all start off differently with a narcissist. Either you're love bombed right away or you're kept hidden for a while and then love bombed later. So I was the one that was kept hidden for a little while because of course he was already in a relationship that he wasn't upfront about, that he kept hidden, and he kept me hidden as well from her. So the love bombing didn't begin till about 6 months after him keeping me hidden, thinking it's cute to come to my house once a week, every Sunday. He was doing this every Sunday. He would come to my house and spend an hour or 2 hours maybe, throw me a little crumbs, and, there I'd be waiting for him to come back next week, like an idiot. Because, he was getting me addicted and, making it seem like he was making it seem like that he was busy and his family and his work took all his time, and he didn't want a relationship, and he didn't understand why everybody else wanted relationships. And he was just, here to give me, a little fun time every Sunday. And at this time, I'm newly single, not really knowing the dating world too well. I'd been in relationships for the past 21 years, so everything had changed when I became single. But anyway, on to the love bombing. After 6 months of being the side chick and not knowing, asking myself, what am I doing? Why are you doing this? I kept doing that as well. I mean, deep down inside that what you're doing is not right. Even if you don't know about the other relationship, this man who's coming over once a week for a couple hours. That's just not normal. That's not how people operate. That's how people use you. That's how people use you. That's how they use you. That's how they treat you like a toy. So I was treated like a toy for 6 months. Then the love bombing started as soon as whatever happened with his other girlfriend. I don't know what. He must have got bored, or she must have caught on to some bullshit that he was telling her, and, he had to bounce. And so he already had me lined up here waiting, so that was just perfect. So now, I'm referred to as baby. He never really called me by my name. I don't think the narcissist ever called me by my first name the whole entire time we knew each other. And I'm sure a lot of you have probably experienced the same thing. Sometimes they'll come up with pet names. But this is one way you'll know how you're being devalued. Whatever name they call you, their pet name, baby or honey or sweetie or whatever it may be, they'll stop doing that. They'll stop doing that, and you'll start wondering about it, and that's when you'll know that they're starting to, not see you in such a great light anymore, because at this time you're probably, and this was about 4 to 5 months after he started love bombing me, and I started to figure out that he had been lying to me about having a girlfriend for those 6 months. I started putting two and two together on a lot of things, and started questioning him, and all of a sudden, I'm not baby anymore. Hey there, or, just hey, or, there was no name after that. We were together for 3 years, and I was called baby for about 6 months, out of those 3 years. So then, the first discard happened about 6 months in after the love bombing, because he had stated that I had trust issues. So he decided to bounce for a while. And the next day, he's texting me asking me if I'm okay. Are you okay? I must be devastated that, he had dumped me because I had trust issues. And I texted back, yeah, I'm okay. And I was okay. I wasn't devastated. Sure, I was upset and angry. But I wasn't devastated. I'd been dating this man for 6 months, and he used me for 6 months before that. And I'm in a state of confusion, if anything else, not devastated. But I was okay at that point. I probably would have been okay if that was the end of it. But of course it wasn't. And he had gone on the dating sites, and he had started, searching for new supply, and I guess it probably didn't work out for him. I don't know how long we were broke up at this time. Maybe a few weeks, maybe a month. And then he's, coming back. It's the back and forth. I guess he forgot about the trust issues because he couldn't find another toy to play with. So I hope I'm not getting too much off subject here. So I'm just trying to say that every time they come back, you're going to be treated a little differently. You're not going to be called by whatever name they had established with you while the love bombing was going on. They're not going to do certain things anymore that they might have done before. They're going to be more distant. They're going to be secretly searching for new supply, which they do that at all times anyway. It doesn't matter if you're in the love bombing phase or what phase you're in, they're always secretly searching for new supply. They're gonna triangulate you. They're gonna start with a triangulation. That's another clue that you're being devaluated. They're gonna start with that. They're gonna include somebody else in your relationship, whether it be an ex or someone new, a friend, or even their best friend, or a family member. It could be anybody to make you feel less important. That's the whole point of devaluation, is to make you feel less important. And then you start asking yourself, why is he doing this? Why are things not like they used to be? And you start even getting more confused about everything. And they'll tell on themselves if you listen to some of their stories and things they tell you about their day and stuff like that. And, they'll tell you stories like, I ran into so-and-so today at work, and, I had to tell her that, I had a girlfriend because she was, flirting, or, they'll say something like that just little things, any little jab to make you feel less than, and to make it seem like somebody else wants them. Even if it's a text that comes through their phone, when you're sitting there and it comes right across in front of you from an ex-girlfriend who's missing the narcissist, or, you're going to see stuff like that. They'll do things like, maybe at a time when you're broke up. I know this happened to me. I mean, this is just my scenario. My house got broken into. The narcissist and I were broken up for, I don't know, a few days, maybe a week. I don't know. I don't remember really, but I had called on him because I didn't know who else to call to help me. Somebody had sabotaged the electric the day before my house got broken into. So I come home from work in the afternoon. My electric had been off, of course I knew about that, but then my house was broken into that afternoon. So I'm calling the police, and I'm wanting somebody to help me, get my door boarded up and help me clean my mess. I was upset. So I called the narcissist. Of course, we hadn't been broke up that long, and I asked him to come over and help me. So he came over. He helped me all right. He did help me clean up somewhat, help board up the door, and, but he just acted like he didn't care. He didn't care that I was stuck here with no electric, that my house had just been broken into, and that I had been utterly violated. And who's to say maybe he wasn't even behind the whole scenario, just for me to call on him, for him to help me. So he comes over and you know, he's not very nice about it. He does help me, but he doesn't act concerned. And, you know, I'm wanting to be consoled. I'm wanting, you know, him to care. I'm wanting him to reach out to me a little bit. Offered to do something, you know, but he didn't. He just left me sitting here in the dark with no electric. He helped board up the door, and he acted like he had so many other important things to do that he had to go. So, you know, I'm left sitting here in the dark, alone, scared. My gun had been stolen. I mean, it was just a bad scene. And they'll do things like that. They will leave you in a bad scenario where they know that you need to be you need to be consoled. You need to be, you know, you need to have somebody show you a little empathy. Well, they don't have that. So, I mean, it could leave you feeling like absolutely nobody, like you're nothing to the narcissist. So you'll know by things like that, you know. And then at the same time, let a few days go by and they're going to want to come back. And of course he did come back. We spent 2 more years together after this. So it was never the same. I never got the love bombing again. I mean, sometimes, yeah, he would do something nice out of the blue or buy me something, or, you know, just to keep me a little bit happy. But after that first breakup, after that, you know, the trust issues I had with him, of course you're going to have trust issues with somebody who's lying to you constantly. But after that, you know, I had trust issues with them, and I was never treated the same. Never the same after that. Never. And matter of fact, every time we broke up and got back together, it just got worse. They devalue a little more each time. So, just know, cut that shit off. When you feel devalued by somebody, cut that shit off. Just let them go. If you're not important to somebody, then just let them go. Because you will be important to somebody else. Know your worth.